Okay, so here's where I am right now. I've been giving this a lot of thought the last couple of days, and I think I finally got it narrowed down. I think the problem with doing my videos was that I started to feel as though it was something I had to do. Like I felt that way in the beginning. Like for the first couple of months, it was like, well, I gotta come out here and knock this out in 2 minutes or less. And then I finally removed that 2 minutes or less restriction so I could just feel free to open up. But lately, because my patterns in life have been a little redundant, I get up and kind of pretty much do the same thing every day. Like my videos started to feel like this thing that I had to do. And then when it started feeling like something I had to do, I kind of felt, I don't want to say I dreaded it, but that's kind of where I was. It was like, oh, fuck, gotta do a video. Alright, what should I talk about? And then I would turn on the camera. And, it's not like I was fake in the video or anything. I just found myself with not much going on. And without much going on, it's like, well, what the fuck can I really say? But I don't really think that's the point, because I don't think future me is going to give a shit. Like, 10 years from now, I'm going to look back at these and be like, wow, look at where we were. Look at what we were doing. Look what was going on. And that's what's going to be important. Like, there was a period in our lives when we first moved in here from, say, February 2013, clear to November of 2013. Asia was the only one working. She was only bringing in like $200 a month. We were on food stamps. It's like, I don't know how we got by. I don't know how day-to-day life was. What did we do? How did we survive? Like my wife says, I make it go, but how did I make it go? I don't remember. And then even when I went to work, it was at Target, and it was like part-time, and I was getting like 12 hours a week. It was ridiculous, but we did it. And I think that's the point. My day-to-day can get a little tedious sometimes, but it's my privilege to do these videos. I shouldn't be looking at them as something, I gotta do. It should be something I want to do. I want to look forward to these, because I know years later I want to be able to come and look at this and go, wow, look where I was. Look at my beard. Like, what is this bootleg Tech 9 thing going on? I don't know. Like, in 10 years, so I still have this weird moldy thing on my face? Like, I don't know. Will I still have this weird dry skin here on my wrist? I don't know. So those are the sorts of things that I should be discussing. In other news, other shit that's going on today, actually what ended up happening was my cousin and I kind of had a difference of opinion on Facebook, which was fine. But that prompted another cousin of mine to come out of the woodwork, and she sent me a friend request, and I hadn't seen her since that was before I moved to Indiana, when I was like 12 and a half. And, that was pretty much the last I saw her. So she sent me a friend request today, and it was nice to catch up. It was. She's a couple of years younger than me. Really, no, I say a couple, like 2. But she's got like 3 kids and some grandkids. It's like, wow. Holy shit. Like, it made me feel old. Like, I'm 42. My son is 20. Like, and having Kari be 20, I feel old sometimes. Fun fact, my wife is 23. And my cousin her oldest daughter is 23. So just, imagine how old I felt today having that conversation. But it was nice to catch up, because it's terrible to say. I know it's terrible to say, but my mother passing away was the excuse I needed not to associate with that side of the family anymore. It was her who would drag me to the family reunions, or if she just went out there so they could sit around and smoke weed and play cards, she would drag the kids and she would force us to go, and I hated going. I didn't like none of them, and they were all tacky and ghetto. Even at a young age, I just felt like, don't you want to do something else? But the cousin that I bumped into today, she was less tacky and less ghetto. So it was genuinely nice to catch up with her. It really was. But it just reminded me, like, she was showing me pictures of her son, and I was poking through her page on Facebook, and it's just like, wow. I can look back now and say how much I've grown since leaving Detroit. Like, getting out of Michigan still goes into the top 5 greatest things I've ever done with my life. And I don't want to say that everybody in Michigan is doomed or everybody in Detroit will never move forward, but if you just stay in the same place your whole life, you'll never grow. You know, you'll never look to do anything else. And when I was in Detroit, if it hadn't been for Asia, who I won't turn because she's getting dressed, if it hadn't been for her, I would have been content to stay in Michigan, because when you're there, you don't realize anything's wrong. Like, when you're in the thick of it, it's just like, this is what life has always been. What do you mean it's weird? What do you mean it's tacky? This is what we do. But even now, I can look at pictures and just the way the streets look and the way the houses look next to each other, it just all looks so small. Like, this is all you want to do? This is all you plan to be? You content? I've said many times before that I would rather be homeless in California than own a house in Michigan, and I mean that. Like, it's just nowhere I want to be. So I'm very happy that I packed up and I came to California. I'm very happy to have married my wife and have established myself in a whole new state. And I know by that logic, that means that, you know, sooner or later I'll have to leave Sacramento. You know, because again, if I don't move forward, I'm just standing still. But I spent 33 years in Michigan. Oh, excuse me. I always make the craziest faces. Thank you, baby. I make the most ridiculous faces. It's like, it's ridiculous. But by definition, sooner or later, I'll have to leave Sacramento just so we can do something else and move forward. I mean, I'm in no rush because I feel like we're pretty good in California. I mean, I can move somewhere and stay in California, but I wouldn't be against up and moving if the opportunity presented itself, but I'm also not really looking for it right now. Like, I've only been here almost, it'll be 9 years. Yeah. Got here in 2009. Yeah, it'll be 9 years. So I haven't been there that long, so I'm enjoying myself here and I'm happy here. Like, the family I have here, like Asia's side of our family, means more to me than the people in Michigan. And it's funny because Asia's whole family is in Michigan too, and I don't have nothing against them. The only ones I've met is her father. I met Christy. Of course, her mom, her brother and sister, now grandma, and that one weird lady who was like the cousin but not really related. Who is? She's your aunt and your. I'm not even gonna ask. Look, you know.
My grandma's brother.
Okay.
Grandma's brother. Okay. Grandma was dating my granddad.
Okay.
And his cousin who was on Francine, ended up meeting grandma's brother, and they got together.
Okay.
But because mom was already related, which is really well, okay, it's double related because Claudette is. Hold on. Mom,
hey,
grandma is on grandma's side and granddad's side.
Okay, so
kids,
okay, all right. So somebody from your mother's side of the family got with somebody from your father's side of the family.
No, someone from my grandmother's side of the family got with someone from my grandfather's side of the family.
Ah, okay. So okay, all right, I get that. That's fine. But you know, I got cousins who had sex with the same dude, so it's like Uncle Daddy.
Oh no.
So
like that.
You know, not the cousin I met today. Well, the one we reconnected with, she didn't do that, but it's a bunch of them who were just like, "Oh, I'm gonna sleep with the same dude." How y'all had the same baby daddy? It's like that's the kind of trifling attitude I'm talking about, where you just you just want to sit around and smoke weed and work at. I remember my aunt. I don't want to call her by name. Her name is Auntie Ann. Was a shift leader at a White Castle before I left, and she was making, I want to say it was like $8.15 an hour. It was 8 something an hour, and that was like the management pay in like 2008. And she just thought she was big shit. Like when I left Michigan, minimum wage was like $7.50 or $7.75 or something like that. And she just thought she was big shit. She was always like, "Hey, I make over $8 an hour, and I get benefits. Y'all don't know. Y'all know nothing about this." And then when the fucking state caught up with her, she can't believe they cut my food stamps, and they told me I can't get WIC no more because I make too much money. You see, I'm balling. The state want me to get them money. It's like, you tacky whore. What do you don't brag about that. That was the kind of thing I needed to get away from. That was the sort of thing that really pushed me over the edge with not wanting to associate with that side of the family. I just had to leave. Like, all my mother's sisters are tacky except for Aunt Beulah. Aunt Beulah was okay. She was a cop. And she went, I don't know if I still have it. I'll look through all my old stuff, babe. There's a picture of me. I was like 8 or 9 years old. And she put handcuffs on me and sat me in the car. And I was just like, yeah! I thought that was like the biggest deal. Oh my God. I was like 8, 9, maybe. I just...
Did hang out with John because she was a cop and they did illegal stuff?
Or did she just stay quiet? No, she was very... If you don't mention it to me, I won't look into it kind of thing. Just like she knew all of them was smoking weed. She knew some of them was selling weed, but she also didn't come to the ghetto. If you wanted to see Aunt Butte, you went to her house. But then that wasn't really very often because she was always working. But Aunt Butte was cool. I don't remember what she passed away from, but I know we weren't super close. But if we're ranking aunties from like highest to lowest, sadly, Aunt Butte goes at the top of the list. Then Auntie Ann would have to be next with her tacky ass. And then Auntie Pat would make it at the very bottom of that list. Oh, but no, that's not true because I forgot about my father's sister, Marlene.
Who's the one that you met with, that you found on Facebook and you said that was like
Monica. Monica. But see, Monica, that was just my mother's best friend. They were like best friends for like ever. So if we're counting Auntie Monica, then Auntie Monica is number 1. Absolutely. I love that woman. Okay, so it'll probably be Monica and then Beulah and then Marlene and then Ann and then Pat. And Pat only makes the list because we're family. Like by blood, not by choice. So she's got to be on the list, that kind of thing. But, wow, I really went off on a tangent about my family, didn't I? It's just... I would have been one of those people had I stayed. I would have got sucked into that mentality, and I didn't want to. I couldn't be that guy. I needed to be more. I needed to do more. So here I am. And with that in mind, it's very important to me that I document this journey on my way. Like, it may seem like pointless, trivial conversation, but you never know. Maybe one day one of us will do something awesome. Maybe we'll do like this big, incredible thing that like changes the whole world. And people will be like, you want to see what Patrick and Asia were doing in 2015? Let's check out their old channel. And it's like, it's us before we were like super famous and super rich or something. And this will be like a big deal. Or it could just be that one of us has passed away and the other one is just happy to come here and watch and remember the moments when me and Asia argued about floppy disks. Like, that's important to me. And I want to get back to that. And I want to get back to it in the sense that I don't feel like, all right, let me knock this out. I want to look forward to it. I want to, if a thought hits me, or I'm feeling playful or feeling funny or feel like there's just something I want to say, I want to be able to come and just turn on the camera and do my thing and leave it up here. Like, one day, this will be important. So even though if I can't see the value of the same day-to-day activities right now, one day this might be a big deal. One day, our future kids will want to know how we were, and, just want to see what mommy and daddy were like before they were around. Here you go. Or even better, when we finally have kids, my kids will be able to watch themselves grow up, because the camera won't stop. The camera will never stop. It'll always be on. And there are so many memories from my childhood that I wish my parents had the foresight to, even if it was a big bulky ass camera with the VHS tape in it, if they had the foresight to record moments that they thought would be big moments, I would love to be able to go back and watch those. Or even just playful moments where my mom was laying on the couch and my father was sitting with my sister in his lap watching My Little Pony or something. Like, I would love to be able to see stuff like that. And I regret not doing it for Kari. Like, I recorded Kari's birthday parties. And I remember Kari, go watch the party tape, Dad. Yes, you could watch the party tape. And he would, all day long, just watch himself playing at Chuck E. Cheese. It was the weirdest thing. But I get that. It's a memory. And you can go back and you can see it. And that's what these will be for me 10 years from now. That's what these will be for me 5 years from now. One day, this will be important. And it's important to get everything on my mind out so that future me has no doubt exactly where I was and what I was doing and how we felt and how we managed to survive and how we made it go and where our family began to where we are in the future. That's important. So welcome back.